You know, one thing that never ceases to amaze me is the amount of nonsense that comes out of the space agencies, NASA in particular. And the one thing that surprises me more than what comes out of these folks is the amount of people who defend the nonsense and who continue believing the nonsense and trying to justify this whole ideology just so they can hold on to their belief in this ball Earth. Well, here's the latest installation of indoctrination from NASA. Let's go. Flipper Gone Wild. How NASA funded dolphin sex experiment involving LSD in a bid to contact aliens. This article came out December 2nd, 2019. In 1961, Dr. John C. Lilly published a book called Man and Dolphin, outlining his ideas about interspecies communication, and inspired famous American astronomer and astrophysicist Frank Drake to search deeper into the interactions with other civilizations. American Space Agency, NASA, funded an experiment aimed at analyzing interspecies communication that included getting intimate with dolphins and feeding them LSD. In 1961, the book by Dr. John Lilly, Man and Dolphin, describes his ideas about communicating with dolphins through observations and then mimicking human voices. It inspired American astrophysicist and author of a famous equation, Frank Drake, to work with neuroscientists to help establish tools for extraterrestrial communication with other intelligent species. He quotes here, "I'd read his book and was very impressed," said Frank Drake, as quoted by The Guardian. "It was a very exciting book because it had these new ideas about creatures as intelligent and sophisticated as us, and yet living in a far different milieu." The astrophysicist, who is seen as the father of the search for extraterrestrial intelligence experiment and author of the Drake equation that estimated the chances of contacting alien civilizations, helped Lilly to win funding from NASA and other government agencies to open up a laboratory in 1963 to establish a closer relationship between humans and dolphins in a common space. In 1964, Margaret Lovat joined the laboratory to help the project. She encouraged dolphins to make human-like sounds while trying to teach them to speak English. The experiment went wild when Lovat decided to live round the clock in isolation with a young male dolphin called Peter, who then got really intimate with her, according to the researcher. And Lovat quotes here, "He was very, very interested in my anatomy. If I was sitting here and my legs were in the water, he would come up and look at the back of my knee for a long time. He wanted to know how that thing worked, and I was so charmed by it," Lovat said. She then went on to relieve his sexual urges manually during the experiment. Yeah, I just wanted to pause it right here just to clarify. Yes, that means that she gave the dolphin a hand job. Yeah. Okay, let's get back to it. "It wasn't sexual on my part. Sensuous, perhaps. It seemed to me that it made the bond closer," the researcher explained. "And it seems to me that Peter figured out that if he spent more time with this woman, that there was a higher likelihood that he would receive more human hand jobs." At the same time, John Lilly also started using licensed LSD on dolphins to see what kind of effect this would have on them and their communicative and learning abilities. Lovat objected to the use of the drug on the dolphins and did not allow Lilly to carry out this experiment on Peter, with whom she had become particularly close. The use of LSD did not prove to be really fruitful, and as the poor progress of research was reported to Drake by another astronomer, Carl Sagan, the funding was cut, leading to the laboratory's closure. Peter, who was transferred to a disused bank building in Miami, died by drowning at the bottom of a pool by intentionally not breathing. Alright, look, dolphins are really intelligent creatures. So rather than be molested by one human and possibly drugged by another human, Peter the dolphin took it upon himself to commit suicide. Wow. Lovat thought that it was the only possible option for the dolphin at the time. In the meantime, the research on finding a toolkit for talking to individuals with a different physiology and learning alien languages continued in 1974. Drake and Sagan came up with a shortwave radio signal known as a recibo and sent it into space in an attempt to demonstrate human technological achievement and potentially communicate with other species. I'll leave a link in the description to this article. Okay, so this was an experiment that took place over 50 years ago. Ultimately, yielded little to no results and wasted a lot of taxpayer dollars. And this is an attempt to reach alien civilizations before they had even supposedly put a man on the moon. Anyway, let me know what you thought about this article in the comment section below. Yeah, that's all I got on this one. As always, be good to each other, take care of yourself, and stay flat. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Yo, this chick actually got freaky with a dolphin. What?